Hello, everyone. It's William again today. How are y'all doing? How is your night going? Hope you're doing well. Um, my night has been busy. I spent it at my pottery class since the last time we talked. Um, if you missed it earlier, I see Marianne's here again. Hello, Marianne. Thanks for joining. If you missed it earlier, Andrew tried to go live, had some technical issues with the feed. Then I came back home and tried to go live again. We hung out for a little while. We took a look at all of Andrew's beautiful little paintings that he's made recently. So if you missed that, um, well, all but the sold ones. So all the ones that are still available, we took a look at. And if you want to see those in video, look how they look so much better on video than they do in the pictures I took. My pictures were terrible compared to these. So anybody who bought these already, you're going to be wonderfully delighted, I think, when you get them. And if you missed us reviewing these 48 that remain, check out that video so you can take a look at them. Then you can go over to Andrew's timeline and claim them if you'd like. They're only $25 each, and we'll get them shipped out to you right quick. Unless we're combining with things, and it'll be when we combine them with things. But yeah, it's there's a lot of them ready for you to adopt and take home. Susie's here. This is good to see you twice in one day. You too. Um, yeah, it was a interesting ride to Pottery today. It was the roads were exceptionally slushy. There's a lot of slush out there. It was sleeting most of the way there, well, all of the way there, and then some. Most of my time that I was there, it had been sleeting. Thankfully, the plow trucks got out, and they made the roads much better for my drive home. The drive home was pretty good, thankfully, because what I didn't realize is that I needed to fill up on gas. I actually did realize it, and then I forgot. So I thought to myself when I came home today, because I went to the post office, dropped things off, came home, and we did that little live earlier. And on my way, I said, "Oh, I'm running low on gas, but I'll get some before I go to Pottery." What did I forget to do? Get gas before I went to Pottery. So I'm following these plow trucks very slow in the slush, uh, and hoping that I have enough gas to not only get to Pottery, but to get back today to Ligonier, because there is no gas station between our house and there, except the Get Go, which is very close to our house. And they usually close at 8. And I said, I am not going to be home in time to get gas there. So I was like, I got there, the gas light didn't turn on. I'm like, okay, I've got enough to get back. Get in the car after the pottery class, turn on the car, and what comes on immediately? The gas light and the little ping that it gives me to tell me you're out of gas. Thankfully, our trusty car got me home. It actually got me to the gas station that usually closes at 8, and they were open. So hooray for those miracles. And I was able to get gas there. And I didn't have to try to make it another few miles to the Sheets up the street, which I don't know. I don't know if I'd have made it. I think our car would have made it. It would have gotten me there, but thankfully the Get Go was open, which they're usually not when I get home from Pottery, because there've been a few times I've been like, I'll just get gas before tomorrow. I pull in and tanks are closed. Lights are on, but the tanks are closed. So thankfully they were open. Even on the maps, because I checked. I checked when I got to Pottery. I'm looking at the map. I'm like, how late is the Get Go? Even our map said that the Get Go is only open till 8, and it was open at 8:45. So then I don't know. They had a truck in there filling up the gas tanks, I think, and I think maybe that's why they were still open. And so thankfully, it worked, and I made it home. Um, So that was like, if you know, with me with my anxiety, it was a tense ride home. I was um I was coasting when I could coast, um, putting it in neutral and literally coasting when I could coast downhill, and taking it very slow uphill, not to expend too much gas. But I made it. So that's what matters here, right? Um, so that was my night. I spent it doing pottery. I made a few things. I have a few things here. Let me see if I can do this. Sometimes this works easily, and sometimes it does not. Let me see if I can go in here. And I think if I do it this way, I don't think it knocks me off of the stream. Doesn't look like it's knocking me off the stream. Um, These are a few things that I made today. Well, I glazed. So I made that large vessel a few classes ago, and I've been working on that for the past 2 weeks, glazing it in various ways. Playing around today, I added a second coat of the white. It's a blue speckle glaze, actually. It kind of reminds me of that blue willow kind of stuff. It's a blue speckle glaze. I've used it once or twice before, so I put that on the outside. I did the circles in some new glazes that we're playing around with. And then I outlined them in the engobe. On the inside are the same colors as the little ovals on the outside, but in large patches with some flux to hopefully make those run. And hopefully we'll get some runny goodness with that. And then I have a large dish that my teacher says resembles olives to her. I did them in green and brown, and with a kind of a watered down white glaze over top to kind of like give it that what do you call it? Whitewash? Yeah, like kind of like a whitewash, because I didn't want it just to be the natural ceramic, but I wanted it to be about that color. So I did that, and then I added some brown and green around the rim. And then that pink one, I did the scallops. Instead of pushing them out like I normally do for my bowls, I pushed them in, and I have this little kind of flower motif on the inside. I kind of wanted it to be like kind of a poppy flower. And I played with doing watercolor techniques, maybe, hopefully, we'll see. Using some water to thin out some of the glaze in areas. You can't tell now that the glaze is dried, but in some areas on that, the glaze is much thicker, and in some areas it's much thinner. So we'll see if that actually comes out in the wash, as they say. Um, and around the edges of that, and I think around the back maybe, I did them in a slightly darker color around the edge of those kind of flower petals. And then the blue one is a kind of watercolor one too, that I just started playing around with it a little bit to see if I get that kind of technique. Um, but we'll see how it goes. So that's what I've been playing around with, trying to play around with these new glazes. They are glazes that my teacher got, that they are supposed to come out the color that they are. So most of the glazes we've been using, they will go on one color and they look nothing like that when they come out of the kiln. All of these ones should look similar to this. They may darken, they may lighten, but they will be generally around the color that they are. Like that pink flower one should be much darker, I hope. Um, but in general, they're pretty stable glazes. So that is hopefully going to come out that way, and we'll see. We'll see what everything looks like. We'll see how much of the black shows through, like the blue, pink, and the larger dish. They all have black engobe, but I don't know with these glazes how much I can cover them without and still have them peek through. So I'm playing around with that. Um, and we'll see. They should be fired this next firing schedule. I don't know if it'll be by next week or if it'll be the week after. And I think I have one thing that I put up for firing last week too, but it's not done yet. So I think there's a firing starting to happen. or going to happen soon. So that's what I made. Um, that's what I made today. That's what I finished today. The three, I did most of the engobe on most of them, um, except that big dish that I did completely all today, glazing and engobe on that. So that's what I've been up to. What have you all been up to? How's your day been? If you tuned in earlier, we talked a lot about various things, cats, nose hairs, um, all different things. Andrew was up here, so we got into probably some interesting conversations. If you know what happens sometimes when Andrew's chatting with us, but it was a good time, and it was nice to just kind of hang out. It was a nice hangout time. Um, but we also, like I said, we looked at his artwork. Aren't those cute? Ain't that one cute? Look how cute that one is. That's number 14. Look at that. So anyway, yes, that's what we've been up to. Who's out there today? I see we have a few people watching. Only Marianne and Susie have said hi though. No one else has said anything. Let me check. Maybe I refresh maybe y'all are talking and I'm not seeing it because I'm not refreshed. Let's see here. Let's see what's happening. Lennis is lurking. Hello, Lennis. Andrew says, I can hear you. Andrew's here. He's watching. Um, who else is watching? 7 lurkers here, says Marianne. I know. It says 8 people watching over there on YouTube. We know one of them is you, and one of them now is Lennis. So who are the other 6? Who are you? Who are you lurking out there? I see Susie and Andrew on Facebook. That looks like the count that I've got there. I figured it was going to be probably a slower night tonight, because we're starting later. And also we went live kind of twice earlier today. Andrew went for a short time, and then we both kind of went after that. But yeah, I figured I'd still jump on. We said we were going to be here at 9. I'm going to be here at 9. I'm not going to do too much talking though, because we did a lot of talking earlier today, like an hour and a half worth, I think. Um, something like that. And so Vicky's here. Not me. I'm a figment of your imagination. Vicky's not here. I just wished so much that Vicky would be here with us tonight that I'm imagining her commenting to us tonight. Let's see. Who else can I imagine? Who else do I want here so much? Let's see. Sandra, are you out there? Suzanne, are you out there? I'm imagining. I'm going to put the power out there. Susan, are you all out there? Michelle, where are you? What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Um, yeah, I'm just playing. But yeah, our friends. Hopefully, if you're not watching tonight, hopefully you're watching the replay of this. And so I'm still going to do the live show, even though we don't have too many people watching. And let's see. Must be a group imagination, right? We're all hallucinating. We're all hallucinating tonight. But we're not on the drugs, everybody, right? We've discussed this earlier. Not on the drugs here. We ain't got the money for that good stuff, right? No, don't do drugs, kids. Unless you want to, then that's your life. Uh, we talked about that. We were having fun with that earlier a little bit. Angela's here. Hello, Angela. Thanks for joining us. Ooh, our Facebook numbers just shot up. Who's out there? Who's joining us tonight? Yeah, thank you all for being here. We had a lot of fun earlier. I had a lot of fun earlier. I don't know if you all did, but I did. And I hope you like looking at Andrew's artwork earlier. He showed his lemon that's going to go up for sale this Friday. And we showed all of his paintings that are still existing in our space instead of your space. So if you'd like to make them part of your space, you can go over to Andrew's timeline on Facebook and grab them there. Let's see here. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see, says Lennis, right? I know. Now I have that sing song in my head. Um, yeah. Thanks for that one. That's gonna be in there a while, probably. Um, that's funny though. So, trying to think if there's anything else. My day has been busy. I have been up since early times, early for me. Normally, so I got up today. I normally get up at a certain point to go to the bathroom. Getting older, that's what happens, y'all. You get up at a certain point just to go to the bathroom in the morning, and then you lay back down. That's usually what happens for me. I didn't lay back, well, I did. I lay back down for about 2 minutes with Barnaby today, and then I started looking on my phone, and I'm like, you know what? I need to get up and start doing some stuff because my time is crunched today. So I went up to Johnstown earlier today. Sorry for those of you who watched earlier. This is a recap. Went up to Johnstown today because I forgot some things at the store this past weekend, and I realized it today. Actually, I realized it yesterday, but I wasn't going up yesterday night to go get everything. So I set that plan in motion for this morning. So I got up there to Johnstown, grabbed the stuff, and then came immediately right back because my mom was coming down for us to get pellets, wood pellets for our wood stoves. Um, and she was originally going to come around noon or 1, and then all the kids in all the schools and all the areas between here and there were all letting the kids out early, and we're all looking at the weather forecast, and it didn't look like much of anything was coming, um, at least snow wise. Well, there's a lot of slush and sleet, which didn't really seem to be in the forecast. They were only calling for precipitation like at 2 points today, and it was not all day. It ended up being all day. So the schools knew. Um, and so the schools were letting out. She's like, I don't want to be driving the truck in the wild precipitation if that's what's happening, especially with a truck full of pellets. And even though that's probably one of the best vehicles to be in, um, but she's not comfortable driving it all the time, especially with it loaded up. And so she was coming early. So I immediately came back home from Johnstown, which was the plan anyway, really. And met her and my dad to go get pellets. We dropped off pellets here at our house. We dropped off, well, then they packed up pellets again and they took them home. They didn't need my help for unloading at the play at her house. So that was, I didn't have to go there, which was fine. I was willing to do that if I needed to, but didn't have to. And then I had to go grocery shopping. So I came back home and talked with Andrew about what we're going to eat. We made a grocery list, which took longer than it should have, really, but it always does when we talk about what do we want to eat, because it's like that. It's like that daily conversation. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? That's kind of how it goes in this house until one of us picks something that we want to eat, and then we go with that. And so we did that, and I went and got groceries, and that took a little while because the grocery store was full. There were hardly any carts left, so I grabbed a little basket and fit as much in that basket as I could. And but everyone apparently was preparing for, there's supposed to be some possibly very bad weather coming this weekend, up to 12 inches of snow, in as some models are saying. I don't know if that's changed today yet, but as of yesterday, some models were saying we were going to get 12 inches of snow. So I think the grocery store was packed today because everybody was out preparing for possible snow. Plus the fact that the schools let out early today, people were like, yep, um, we better get it now. So got the groceries, came home, went up to the cottage. I was going to do the live from at the cottage, but then I realized I had to pack some orders. So I told Andrew I was going to be late doing the live. I'll probably just do it tonight. And he says, oh, I'll do it. I'm like, okay, good. And I thought he was just going to reschedule the live and save me the time from rescheduling it, but he actually tried to do it, and then the technology didn't work out, as many of you may have seen. Um, and so he gave up on that, and then I came home and did the live with him, showing this stuff, and then I went to pottery, and now I'm here. That's been my day. I have not had a moment of like just sitting down. Oh, I did eat he made me a grilled cheese. I ate a grilled cheese in between. somewhere in there between the last live and my pottery class. Um, Linda says, our weather report is all over the map. Yeah, they are. Right now, they're still, I don't know if they still are, but they were yesterday for sure. And I know that's a long time to forecast the weather, I guess, 4 days, whatever it is. Um, but yeah, they are way all over the place. Some are saying, I guess the Canada model is saying one thing, and there's a GPR. I don't know all the models. One of them is saying we'll get almost nothing up here, um, and some of them are saying we're going to get 6 to 12 inches. Some are saying that it's going to be more icy. Some are saying it's going to be more snowy. So we don't know. We don't know. Don't forget that we were worried about the shop burning down. Yes, that's a whole thing. If you didn't see, I think Andrew posted on his timeline. But so we also talked today. Unfortunately, one of the kind of staple restaurants in Ligonier burned down yesterday. And we were expressing our sympathies and, all that earlier. And so as soon as we got off the live, I was looking on Facebook at things, and somebody in our neighborhood in Johnstown posted on their timeline, "Does anyone know which house is burning in Moxham?" Okay, um, that was, that can happen. Moxham is a fairly large area of Johnstown. So I'm watching the comments, seeing if anybody comments. The first comment that comes in on her post is Grove Avenue. So that's our store's street. Now it's a long street, and I'm like, okay. But of course, I just had in the back of my mind already that, we just had a business burn down. So of course, and I'm like, I was just up there this morning, like everything seemed fine, but like my anxiety starts working, and I'm like, okay, well, was when I was up there today, was I supposed to notice a sign that I was supposed to, find something wrong and fix it? And I didn't do that because I was in a hurry and things got changed and the schedule changed. So I was like going through all these things in my mind, like the you should have known by intuition and fate that you were supposed to do this thing so your building doesn't burn down. Um, and so the next comment on the post was the 600 block of Grove Avenue. That's our block. The 600 block is not a huge block. Um, and so on that block, though, is our store. Across the street from us is Jada's. There is a ceramic store, ceramic shop, and teaching and teacher supplier shop, which they have kilns, that are running. Um, you have a restaurant, which is, doing restaurant cooking things. And then our store, we have our tenant above. So I messaged our tenant and I said, "Hey, are you around? Do you know what's going on? Is everything okay there?" No reply. So I messaged them across the street, um, to make sure that they were okay and to let me know if anything's going on that we should know about. No reply. Now, of course, they all replied afterwards, but I'm looking for that immediate reply, like, "Whoa, this is happening right now. What is going on?" And so I messaged some friends that we met and further down the street. And luckily, they got back to us very quickly, and they said that it's across the street from you and down a few houses. Um, so while that is not a good, I don't want to say it's a good thing. Somebody's house burned. It was a duplex. Um, Apparently, my mom found out more information. Someone did go to the hospital, so we don't know the status of them yet. Um, but the other side of the duplex was apparently unaffected, so they got that side, I guess, the fire put out quickly enough. They were able to restore power to the other side. So apparently, hopefully, I don't know what the condition is. I haven't seen photos or anything, but um, Uh, Generally, the whole house did not burn down. Um, and so then, of course, after I found out all of this and I went to my pottery class, then everyone starts messaging. And I messaged everyone back and I told our tenant, I'm like, if you're not home, it's not us. I don't want you to worry in case you're not home and now you're really concerned. And I messaged Jadas and I said, if you're not around um, the restaurant, it's not you, so that they weren't put on edge by what I said. Um, but yeah, that was kind of a really scary moment, thinking that it could possibly have been us. You never know. You never know with things. So thankfully, not. Um, and we put out our good energy to our neighbors. It was a house just pretty much just a little bit diagonal across the street from Coke Ceramics. So really, um, just a few steps down. I don't know who is there. Um, I know people in the house across the street from them, but I don't know those neighbors yet. So I hope everything is okay, and um, I hope that any trips to the hospital were just for checking, or that everything is all right. So that is that's been our day. How has your day been? Hopefully, a little bit less wild than our day. Unless you like a wild day, maybe you do. I'm not a fan. Um, Andrew says, I think we have PTSD from when your job burned down. Of course. I mean, 100%. And not only that, um, but like that happened. And then of course, just having the business in Ligonier, Ruthie's that burned down yesterday, had me on edge just thinking about that. Um, and so, it's a hard thing when something like that happens. We were talking about that earlier today too, and I don't know how many of you that are watching were out there earlier as well, but um, some of your names I know you were here. I know Marianne was here earlier. Um, so I don't want to, I don't want to say the same things over, but it is when something like that happens to a small business, it's not just the building, right? Like the small business I worked for was a family business, and my family, it wasn't our family business, but my whole family worked there. And you built a family. Some of the people that worked there for 30, 35 years, and everybody knew everybody. And to have that just gone is traumatic. And our life has not been the same at all since I lost that job, because it was that was a job that gave security in a lot of ways. It was security for my family. It was a business that was always there. My aunt was very instrumental in helping keep it there. Um, but it was something that was always there for us. And when I came back from New York, I jumped right back in, and that's where I had gotten a job. I left them after that when our store started doing better, and I left them then. But then I came back when they needed help. They called on me. When their artist left them, and I helped them do things, and um, we started to rely on that, because it was something it was supposed to be. I was supposed to be there for a month or two until they found a replacement, and then they decided that I could be, and I decided I could be the replacement. So it was a mutually beneficial thing. And so we started relying on that income. And when that was taken out from under us by a fire, it was really hard. And so I can sympathize a lot with the people who are going through this right now for Ruthie's, not only the owners who they've lost the business that they were trying to sell, but they now have nothing to sell. Um, and I know, hopefully there's insurance and all that, and that works out for them. But there's also employees who now have no jobs, and I wish we were in a better predicament that we could offer people jobs, but we are not there right now, because we are still recovering from me losing my job. Um, Andrew says, the night it happened, we were driving by and admiring the lights and thinking how nice it looks. Then a few hours later, we got a message that it was on fire. Yeah. Um, it was. it was one of those things that it was a we were it was next to my grandparents' house. My grandparents' property adjoins um, their property, and my brother lives there now with his wife and kids, and um, we were up for Christmas Eve, and we were having Christmas Eve celebration, and um, on Christmas morning at 4 a.m., I think it was 3 a.m., 4 a.m., it burned down out of nowhere. So it was hard. Andrew says you started back during COVID times. Yeah, they had us. The original owner passed away. His son took over, um, and at that point, the artist that they had, I think, pretty much decided it was time to retire too, and she left, and they needed someone. So because I had done sometimes a lot of her work, I'm not artistic as in drawing, and she could draw, car parts and little characters and things for their catalogs and stuff. I that wasn't me, but I knew how to create the catalogs, and I knew how to use the art that they had, and that's all they really needed at that point, because there was a wealth of previous stuff that had already been done. And so um, that's what I did. And it was during COVID. It helped us survive through COVID. I think I left them in 2018. Was it 2018? I think it was before that. We started the store in 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15. It may have been 16 or 17. I left them. And um, or maybe it was because I started in the store in 4 years. So it was probably around 2015, 2016. Anyway, um, and until about 2020, 2019, something like that, they asked me to come back. So I was with them through a lot of the pandemic, COVID times, and um, yeah, and it was a mutually beneficial thing. 2016 you left, Andrew said. Yeah, so 2016, and then around 2019 or so, 2020. I think it was into the pandemic. I think we were into the pandemic. 2020, 2021 I went back. And it was a really good thing. Um for me and for them. It worked out both ways. Um, and I was able to continue with them, and they were able to use my skills, and it helped us with our bills a lot. It paid for most of our household things, and allowed the store to cover the store um, during the pandemic, which was a really important thing because the store had been covering our lives. And when the pandemic happened and things dropped off, that split kind of happened where the store had to cover only itself again. And I covered a lot of the household things, groceries, cat food, electricity for the house, the mortgage, um, all that kind of stuff. And it worked out. But yeah, so fires are traumatic, and we definitely do have a little PTSD. Linda says that sounds scary to have to think about for hours. Yeah, it was. Um, Marion says my day was quiet and pleasant. It's getting colder for a few days. Post fire PTSD. Absolutely. Yeah, it's supposed to be getting colder, right? That's why my mom wanted to get pellets today, because it's supposed to be one of the warmest days, apparently, of this coming week or so. And it's supposed to get bone chilling cold, like -3, I think she said today. At some point this weekend, it's going to go down to -3. So that is not pleasant at all. Um, Gonna have to spend more time at the cottage making sure that the fire keeps going there so that it doesn't get too cold, because we have chemicals and things that cannot get too cold lest they be ruined. So I'm trying to keep the cottage warm as possible as we navigate the winter. Um, anyway, that's my day. Hopefully you're having a great one out there. I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're not really jumping up in numbers as we talk here much. So I think the people who are watching are going to be the people who are watching. Um, And so I'm going to start the live, and we will. Hopefully people will watch tomorrow if you're not here watching now. And I appreciate all of you who are watching now. Thank you for hanging out. It's always nice when we do these lives to have people hanging out and commenting and talking and talking back, because otherwise I would be recording these and posting them on YouTube as a recorded video that you could watch anytime, right? That's always an option. We could always do that. But we prefer to hang out with people and actually chat, um, and do it that way. But YouTube would actually like us. They would prefer if we recorded these live videos and then just posted them. So I could record a selling show and then just post them up to YouTube. That would not be very much fun for me or for anyone else, probably, but YouTube would love it because they prefer uploaded videos. Um, Marion says similar temperatures here starting tomorrow, but at least it is not uncommon here. Yeah, I guess here it's, I mean, negative numbers are not uncommon at some point in the winter for us. Uh, at least they didn't used to be. They're a little bit more uncommon these days as things are warming up generally, but it is, it is, it never used to be uncommon. We would get into the negative numbers often. Um, Not often, once in a while, at some points in the winter. Uh, let's see here. Andrew says, I'm not going to leave the bedroom. Me and the cats will hunker down. Says, ideally, we can get insulation. Eventually, we'll get the windows reglazed and some of them repaired. Yeah, the cottage needs some repairs. Reglazing on some of the windows. We would love at some point to replace the windows with like double pane windows instead of single pane, non-movable, unopenable windows. But that's a longer way down the road. Unless we hit the lottery tonight, then maybe it'll all happen. I didn't play the lottery, so I don't think we can hit it tonight. Maybe I'll play if I end the live in time. But anyway, I'm not going to talk as much because we're already into the 9:45 hour. Um, and if I keep talking like we normally do for a live, we're not going to be done until midnight. And I'm hungry. I haven't eaten anything but toasted cheese. Thank goodness I had that. Thank you to Andrew for that. Let me figure out how to, my brain's a little tired, figure out how to flip this camera around. There we go. There we go. All right, everybody. How are y'all doing? Let's get this show on the road. I don't know what I have to show you tonight. I have a box of stuff here that I'm going to pick from. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Okay. The numbers tonight are going to be PRB. PRB. Don't know where that came from. It just came to me. Marion says, and that would be past my bedtime. Yep. It'd be getting real close to my bedtime. Andrew says, don't forget to do your duo. I know I got to finish my Duolingo before that midnight hour. I've not had a moment to do my duo yet today. So that's not great. Here, let's start with this. One of those. These are only, how much are these? $4 each. I am going to put an M here. Multiples available. I'm not going to count them all. We got a small batch of these. These are these beautiful check glass 2-hole tile beads. Beautiful color, beautiful finish. And drop it like it's hot because I got cat hair on there. I'm trying to get off there. Still got cat hair on there. Let's get that off of there. I don't need to show the cat hair. It just came out of the bag. I don't know how it got cat hair on it. Imagine that. Cat hair off of me? What? And let's see here. We've got, these are approximately 6mm beads. I'm going to say, yeah, 6mm by about 3 thickness wise. And that's PRB1, $4 each. PRB. I don't know why I chose that because those are so hard for me in my brain to make happen together. Next up, I've got multiples of these. These are only $3. Got multiples of these. These are check glass drooks, tiny, tiny ones. Look at those. Tiny, tiny glass beads. Vintage check. Another cat hair. I swear, y'all. Check glass droops. Look at the pretty, pretty patterns on those. We're getting some good energy on these. I don't even have a device up here to look at the email, so I can't tell you if anything's selling. So we're just going to keep going tonight and not worry about that. So claim if you'd like to. These are 3mm droops. And I'm going to keep on going with the show. So if you like something, please claim it. That'll help us a lot. But I can't tell you if anything's being claimed. So, and that's all right. Some cat has been pawing through those beads. No, they're not allowed, and they're not allowed to touch them. That's just all from me, because I was hugging on, kissing on them when I came home. And it's probably all over my sweater, which means it's all over me and falling all over everything. Let's see here. These were, how much were these? These were 45. I'm going to bring it down to 35. I've got 2 strands of these available. And these are these beautiful quartz. They're this kind of orangey quartz. They're really pretty. They're these faceted kind of shield shapes. And I love them. It's got that beautiful like clear quartz with some of this orangey goodness. I don't see this stuff very often. Here's the other strand so I can show you. They're both really pretty. They're so unique. I love them. So 2 strands of those available. I'm just going to leave one out to save room. $35 today only. That's PRB3. If you'd like to purchase from this video, just take down that number, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. That's all you got to do. It is first come, first serve. All right, let's see. How many of these do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 of them. These are really cool. We love them a lot. They are $4 each. 10 of them available. They're these kind of flags made out of bone. So they're bone and they're a dyed bone. And they're these kind of flag-like beads. So you could wear them on a necklace this way. You could wear them pointing down as a pendant. I think that'd be a cool pendant. Nice little shape, a little curved shape. And they're all probably a little bit different, but this is about 18.5mm by 21. And that's PRB for $4 each. If you have any questions too, hey Jennifer, thanks for joining us. If y'all have any questions as we're going along, please feel free to ask in the comments. I just got a comment, so it looks like we're okay. I'm going to make sure I refresh here. Sometimes my feeds freeze up, so I'm going to make sure. Marianne's going to go watching the TV. Thank you, Marianne. All right. I'm trying to see if these are a stone bead, I believe. I don't know what stone these are, but they're cold like stone. And they are, yeah, I don't think these are glass. I don't know what kind of stone these are. Andrew, do you remember? I mean, it's white, so let's see. They're $12. Um, PRB5, $12 a strand. I've got 2 strands of these available. They're knotted in between. Oh, Jennifer sending us some stars. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. There says maybe ceramic. They could be ceramic. They're really cold like glass though, and I feel like they're slightly misshapen, but maybe they're a vintage glass or a vintage ceramic. They could be ceramic. Maybe they are ceramic. That would make more sense. Because I don't know any stone that. No. See, I shouldn't pull them out unless I know what they are. Andrew says I can't tell from here. Well, I can't run down there. So I don't know. Anyway, they are about 8 millimeters, 8.5 millimeters. They do vary. That's why I'm thinking that they're still stone because they do vary slightly, but that could mean they're glass, that could mean they're ceramic too. Glass, you'd think they'd be more perfect. I don't know, y'all. They're really pretty. They're an off-white color. It's a really long strand. They're knotted in between. It's a very long strand. So they're only $12. If you can use them, hold it on camera or something. There they are. We'll see if you can. It might be like a magnesite. I don't know. Oh, see, I think I have. They're not marked. They're not marked for me. And I don't know. I don't remember what they are. PRB6. Let's see here. This spot is 12. Bring it down to 8. PRB6. Andrew says maybe calcite. Could be calcite. Could be calcite. I feel like they're coated. I feel like they're coated because they look like they're stabilized in some way. All right, next up, we got these jaspers. These little tiny jasper beads. And these are little rounds. Was $12 a strand, bringing the strand down to 8. I've only got one of these left. Teeny tiny. Very small. They are 2.5 millimeters. 2.5 millimeters. They're smaller than these check glass droops. Look at that. $8 for the strand, 1 strand available. PRB6. Jennifer says pretty. Aren't they pretty? Everything here is so pretty. Like these, so pretty. These, look at this. Look at these patterns on those. So pretty. The quartz, so pretty. I love the bone too. Who doesn't like that dyed bone? These are beautiful. If you're doing Cloud Dancer, these are a nice, slightly off white. I call it winter white. This is like the same color as all my sweaters I've been wearing lately. I love this color. Um, Never thought I could wear white, and then I've been wearing that all winter. And then these jasper. Andrew says, I would go up, but I finally stopped sneezing. That's okay. It's all right. If it sells, that's great. If it doesn't, we'll name it for next time. So I know next time. There are a lot of things in this that I skip because I don't know what they are. And really, Andrew and I need to sit down and look things up. Or if he knows, he can just tell me. But we don't usually have a lot of time to do that. So I don't get to do that with him. Let's give you a really good price on these. This is PRB7, was $36, bringing it down to $24. Jennifer, which strand do you mean? How long is the strand? Let me know what number you're talking about, and I will gladly try to give you an answer. I don't think I have my ruler up here, actually. Oh, wait, I do have this one. This one can work if I find the right side. This is the side. This is inches. A very weird inches. So is this weird or am I off? So this is an inch, and I measured it. It is an inch, but this is a half inch. But these are not divided into quarters. Like where's the quarter inch? It's between these two. Like these lines, there should be like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines normally, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to a half inch. So a quarter of an inch is not even marked. It's so weird. This I don't know what this is for, what this is about, but this is from my grandparents, and there's all these measurements on here. I have no idea what some of them are, but this one is in inches. The one that has 10 right here, which is at the 6-inch mark, but it has a 10 up here. It's so weird. I don't understand this ruler. I don't know where it came from, but yeah. Jennifer says that is weird. 1/10 of an inch. I know, right? Who does that? Why would you? At first, I was like, this isn't even inches. I was like, none of these are inches. I'm like, some of these are probably centimeters. Yeah, like this looks like centimeters, right? Millimeters and centimeters on that one. This one, I guess, is maybe divided into further ones, but like there's then this, which is that centimeters too? Like, are they all just like, I don't know. It's so weird. It's such a weird ruler. But if I find the 10, I know those are at least inches. I don't know why they're divided into a fifth or a tenth, but they are. Maybe put the driftwood back on the screen also for the color balance. I would, but it's downstairs with my photo taking stuff, so I don't have the driftwood. Another thing that's downstairs. So you were looking for 6, Jennifer. 6. The length on this one is 12, 13, 14, 15, and almost 16. 15 and 3/4 inches for this strand. 15 and 3/4 inches for that. PRB 6. Okay, PRB 7. It's an old school drafting roller. Yeah, it is, but it's so weird. Like I took drafting, and my drafting ruler had inches marked in quarter inches, not 1/10 of an inch. Had eighths, 16ths. You know, you need to do the 16ths of an inch, do the eighths of an inch, quarter inch, half inch. You don't do tenths of an inch. It's so bizarre. Marianne says it's a metrics engineering ruler or mechanics engineering ruler. Yeah, I've never seen one that marked anything in tenths of an inch. My drafting rulers never did that. But I did have a how many side? 1, 2, 3 times 2, 6-sided ruler. I had a few of those. None of them ever did that. So weird. Anyway, this is this strand. This beautiful quartz, electroplated quartz, big quartz nuggets, electroplated and AB finished. This is a vintage strand, was $36. Bring it down to 24. It's the last one of these we've got left. It's juicy, juicy and beautiful. I love the color. It gives it like this cognac kind of color, but you got that AB on there. It's just such a rich strand. Okay, so there's that PRB7. I'm going to put some of these away so that I can make room for more. The PRB1 away, I'm sure still have those available. We've got a lot of those ones. Of course, I can't see, so that's okay too. This is PRB2, the Drooks. We'll put that away. Andrew says it's really pretty. It is really pretty, right? PRB3, it's beautiful quartz. And beautiful orangey quartz. Only $35 a strand, 2 strands available. And then I'll move this down to here. I'll move this one down to here. And I'll move this one up to here. Look how juicy, look how juicy, look how juicy. Juicy, juicy. Oh, I forgot 4. Let me put 4 away. That bone flag. Here are more just to show you. Like, here are more of these little bone flags. They're really cool. Nice solid holes drilled in them too. They're not like these tiny little holes. Excuse me. Don't want to blow everyone's ears out. All right, that probably wake everybody up, right? PRB8. Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay, these are lovely. It's a shorty strand of vintage turquoise drops. So this is about, wait, I'm on the wrong one again. It's about a 10-inch strand of turquoise drops. We had this at 32. I'm going to bring it down to 28 for you all. PRB 8. Beautiful turquoise vintage drops. Top drilled. Lovely strand. These are approximately 15.2 by 9.5 millimeters. Lovely turquoise quality. That pretty, pretty turquoise color. Not too much of any black or brown. You get a little bit of it in there just to know what it is. But really exceptional, beautiful stones. Got 1 strand available, $28, PRB 8. Hmm, this was $6. We'll make it $5. We'll do some. I always like to give you some of those things, some of those. Um, Andrew says, I love these, right? Marianne says, engineers used to work with 1/100th of an inch as well as 1/10. Today, they should go metric, right? If you're going to do that, just go metric. Cutting those inches into tenths, that's weird. That's weird. My drafting class never had us do that. Thank goodness. It's bad enough you had to learn all the, what's 3/16 in decimal. I used to know all of that right off the top of my head. Not anymore. But it's bad enough to have to do that, let alone take it down into tenths of an inch. You don't do inches and tenths. It's not how that works. Anyway, here we have a quartz. Just little quartz nuggets. They're cute. It's a cute little strand. It's a vintage strand. It's about a 13-inch strand, maybe 14, 13 and a half. 13. We'll just say 13 to make it easy. 13-inch vintage strand, little quartz nuggets. They're nice quality. They're just a little bit like me. They're a little bit not perfect and a little bit you know, here and there. That's okay. You got one strand of them. $5 if you want that strand. What a good deal, right? $5 for little quartz, 5 millimeter quartz nuggets. $5 for a whole strand. What the heck? That's a good deal. If nothing sells tonight, that should at least sell, right? I hope so. Seems like a really good deal. Even if you don't need quartz, just pick it up just in case. Just in case for when you do. All right. I think, am I right? Any of you know jaspers? I think this is sesame jasper. Am I right in that? These are these little tubes. I think sesame jasper. I don't think Kimberly's here with us. If she were here, she would know. She knows those jaspers. It's a beautiful jasper. $6 for the lot is what we're going to do on these little tubes. They do not have large holes. They're big tubes, but they don't have large holes. They have normal size holes. And there are 11 of them. Yeah, 11 of them. They are approximately 7 millimeters by 18 millimeters, PRB 10. Andrew says sesame or kiwi. Could be kiwi. Jennifer says, I like the soft, translucent quality of those clear quartz nuggets, right? I was holding them up and they were reflecting this so well, or maybe these, that I was like, are those rutilated? Because if they're rutilated quartz, that's much more expensive because I keep seeing some of this orangey brown color in them, but that's just because they're glowing off of everything else. PRB 10, $6 for those. Another good deal. Dishing out the good deals, I think, tonight. I'm a little tired, so I'm just giving you all the good deals tonight. Not that we don't always, anyway. Okay, these we normally sell for $2 a bead. They're normally 24. I'm going to sell them for $1 a bead tonight, but you got to buy all of them. You got to buy all of them. This is another quartz. This will actually be a little bit sad if somebody buys these, maybe, because these are exceptionally beautiful. These are these beautiful quartz nuggets, and they are faceted, not nuggets, rondelles, faceted. Normally $2 a bead, so that'd be $24 for all 12 of these. But we're selling them tonight for the low, low price of half off, $12 only, but you got to buy them all. I'm not selling them individually tonight. You got to buy them all. All right, what's up next? That was a super spendy strand, Sandra. Yeah, it was. You can tell the quality of these. These are amazing. Can you imagine a whole strand of these? I can because we used to have it, but now we have 12 of them left, and those 12 can be yours for only $12. That is an exceptional price. Just so you know. Next up, we have these. I think these are Nepalese. I think they're Nepalese. They are $26 each. There are 2 of them available. I'm showing you both. Oh, I didn't give you the size on these. Let me give you the size on these. These little babies are 16.3 by 12.1 approximately. Yeah, about 16 by 12. They're all a little bit different. They're all faceted, old school. Cut a little bit of that away. They're not all perfect. I think that's a vintage string. It might be vintage. Those might be vintage beads. Because they're not computerized perfect size. These are beautiful pendants in metal. Let's bring this light up here so you can see these better. Look at how beautiful these are. And these are, let me try here, about 20 and a half by 50. About 20 and a half millimeters by 50, PRB 12. They're super lightweight though. Super lightweight. They are not heavy. These could almost be earrings, to be 100% honest. I know some people who these would not bother their ears. I know that's not everybody, but these are not like, they're like maybe the weight of 2 of these beads. Like they're really not that, and they're nice big metal beads. So PRB 12 on those. I'm going to put 5 away. PRB 5 for those, whatever those beauties are. I love them. That's why I wanted to show them, but I don't actually know exactly what they are for y'all. Sorry. I'm going to put away this strand of the jaspers, the little jaspers, 2.5 millimeter, I think, on those, you said. I need a bigger bag. Where's my big bag? There it is. This one, this quartz, beautiful electroplated quartz. Only $24 for that strand. And let's put the turquoise. I will be surprised if this doesn't sell. This is a very nice strand of vintage turquoise. Stabilized, not dyed. And then this very inexpensive strand of quartz. Whoa. Yeah, I don't have that away. All right, now I made some room. Let's move these up. Sesame or kiwi jasper, one of those jaspers. You got all of these beautiful beads here. And then you got this set there, $26 each, 2 of those available. That's nice, but I'm not sure. Oh, this is cool. These are cool. Suppose 18. Let's do it at 14 for y'all. Andrew says the sleet keeps hitting the side of the house and it sounds like someone is tapping on the window. Oh boy. This is a cabochon. And I do believe this is glass. It's made to look like stone, but I believe this is a glass cab. Andrew can correct me if I'm wrong, but there it is. It was $18. And it's a beautiful cab. No holes, though. No holes. I don't think that's a hole through. Oh, it is. It is a pendant. So it could be a cab or a pendant. Look at that sneaky little hole right there. There it is. There is a hole through there. So you can make that into a pendant. That's really nice, actually, now. Because I don't have use for cabs because I don't do much with them. But that could be a very fun pendant. 24.5 millimeters by 35, we'll say 35 millimeters. PRB 13, only $14. Okay, let's see what's next. Let's see, what have I got in here? How about an assorted variety of check glass beads? These are fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beads. We'll do it for $6. How's that? These are some very large check glass, very interestingly cut check glass too, faceted. Like you got smooth edges on here, and then you've got the faceted kind of nicks taken out, which is a really cool design. These are all vintage or antique. They don't do that design. They don't see that around anymore. And then we also have these ones. There are 3 of those, which is another very interesting style that you do not see around much anymore. And then you have this little one in there. So vintage / antique check glass beads, PRB 14. You get all 8 beads for $6. That's a good deal. They don't make the big beads like that much anymore. We learned that there's only a few families that ever have made the big beads, and there's only 1 or 2 left, I believe, we've been told. And the kids don't want to take on the responsibility of doing it anymore. So a lot of them are starting to close up. More and more of them. So those big beads like that, getting more and more rare. Unless somebody decides they want to do that, which could happen, but you never know. It's not the bag I thought I was pulling. How's everybody doing? Y'all hanging in there? You still out there? Everybody still out? Anybody still out there? Who's still out there with me? Say hi. Say hi, please. me know you're out there. Okay. Oh, this is just a nice strand of vintage check with an AB finish in this peachy color. Vintage check strand, AB finish, peachy color, $4 for the whole strand. It's a nice long strand. Oh, Diane's back. Says hello. Email is fixed. Oh, good. Good, good, good. I know that was I know how wild it can make you in your head when email does not work. And I don't mean just you, I mean you in the universe you, because I've had email not work and it is mind-boggling insane. About 7.5 millimeters on these. PRB 15. One strand available, $4. That's it. Cute, cheap, inexpensive, nice beads. Okay, this is another strand. Andrew, are you out there? I'm trying to remember what these are. I keep looking at them and I'm like, I don't know. I keep passing them up because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to show them to you because they're beautiful and I keep wanting to show them. And if Andrew's watching, he can tell me if he can tell from the video. I want to, they kind of, I don't know. Here, I'll show them to you. They're these. I kind of want to say they're like either a green quartz or a fluorite, a green fluorite, but I could be off. I could be wrong. They're microfaceted rondelle. They're really pretty, this beautiful green color. Jennifer says prehnite. They don't have any black at all though. So I don't know, unless it's just the gemmy part of prehnite. Andrew said they're green quartz. So we're gonna go, he would remember saying that they're green quartz. I'm gonna show you the other ones too. They've got such a beautiful sparkle to them. And they're really lovely. Did I measure them for you? They're 2.5 millimeters. 2.5 millimeter green quartz. I've been wanting to show them for weeks, and I keep forgetting to ask Andrew what they are. So I'm going to write green quartz in case they don't all sell out today. Right, and they have the cloudiness unlike prehnite. Sometimes prehnite is a little bit like that, but Andrew says that's at least what we bought them as. So that's good enough for me. They're beautiful. I love them. I love that color. It's kind of like a fluorite green. I love a fluorite green or like a prasiolite and that kind of green color. PRB 16. These were 36. I'm gonna give you a good deal on these tonight. $26. I'm gonna take $10 off of these. I shouldn't. I've only got 2 of them left though. And so somebody might want some. Wow, that's hard for me to do, but I'm gonna do it. $26. You're going to see why. These are beautiful. These are pink tourmaline. Vicky S, is it PRB 16? This is 15. The green quartz is 15. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Thank you. I already had a 15. So yes, this is 16. We're going to move this since I didn't show that yet. PRB 17. Thank you for catching that. I was wondering why I said, did it look so much like a 6? No, it should be 16. That's terrible. Oh well, it is 16. Yes. 17 now is the next one, which I'm pricing too low, but I'm going to do it anyway. Is the pink tourmaline. Pink tourmaline. That one's in a little bit of a knot there, but look how pretty. All just pink tourmaline. Faceted rounds. Just a whole, how often do you see that? A whole strand of beautiful pink tourmaline. It's got that almost purpley glow to it, right? Beautiful pink tourmaline. These ones I feel like are a little bit bigger. No, they're about 2.6. Yep, 2.6 millimeters. These were the same. No, these were 2.5. But look at those together. Look how pretty they are. Get that watermelon tourmaline look with that, with only pink tourmaline and some green quartz. Really, really pretty. Let's see what I got next. What's 18 gonna be? Not tonight for you. Tonight's not your night. Ooh, I do love these. Forgot we had any more of these. Okay. These were 24. We're going to bring them down to 18 for you. How many do I have? No, I only have 2. Oh, I keep writing 3. Y'all, there's 2 of them. I wrote 3 twice. Losing my mind. All right, let me get these. I'm going to show you these. These are really superbly pretty. This is carnelian. Beautiful, beautiful carnelian. And these are vintage strands. Let me just show you how pretty these are. Check that out. Lovely carnelian. I don't even have to bring the lights up to it for it to be beautiful. But I bet if I do bring the lights up to it, it'll be even more beautiful. Look at that. Vintage carnelian. They are approximately 16.5 by 21. 2 strands available. Oh, wait, just 1 strand available. Sorry. The other one's different. I didn't even know they were set together. So I'm going to show you the other one too. PRB 19. Same price. I'll do the same price because I was going to do that anyway. But these are different, y'all. I didn't even know. I knew we had these. I did not know we had this one. Let me get this one off of here. This one is oval shaped. Vintage carnelian ovals. And these are about 11 and a half by 17 and a half. Isn't that stunning? I love carnelian. It's such a warm stuff. Like, just, it feels like it should be a warm stuff. Like, it's just so nice. So nice to hold. I feel like it has such good energy. Okay, let me put some of these away to make some room. What's your favorite stone, y'all? What do you all like out there? We've got some people out there now that don't always watch all the time. Let me know what your favorite stone is. Put these beauties away. I don't know if they're sold. I can't tell anybody because I don't have my email, and that's okay. We're flying free tonight. No email to tell you what's selling or not selling. So you just got to grab it if you like it because you don't know if somebody else is going to get it. $26 on those each, 2 of them available. Can't convince anybody else to talk out there? No? Can't. I'm going to put this pendant away. 13. And I'm going to put this check glass, the large check glass, well, all sizes, but very odd, mostly very odd kind of cuts of check glass. Lennis can't pick her favorite, it changes. I can feel that. Okay, I'm going to move 15 up. Remember, just because they're here doesn't mean they're still available. Somebody may have claimed them, but I can't tell you right now. So if you do see something you like, grab it. I'm just appreciating how beautiful this whole row really is. Like, starting with these beautiful pink AB finished check glass beads to this beautiful green quartz to the pink tourmaline to the beautiful 2 carnelian strands, which are very different if you look at them together. I mean, maybe you can't see it as well. These are more of an orangey. These have a little bit more of a red color to them. They're also different shapes. So whatever you like, it could be yours for the low, low price of $18 each. PRB20. If you've never joined us before and you're out there, please say hi. Don't be afraid. We'd like to get to know you. Let's be friends. Don't hesitate to say hello. Okay. This is right now looking at turquoise, coral, amber, not my usual favorites. Turquoise, coral, and amber. Those are good ones. I do love amber. I was never a turquoise fan for most of my life, but then I saw Sleeping Beauty turquoise. I always thought of turquoise as just that green color, and I'm really more into the blue tone turquoise, and I love that stuff a lot. This is a beautiful pendant. I think it's a jade pendant or maybe serpentine. But it's got this little charm at the top. And this kind of snake charm down below. And it's wire wrapped for the bezel. And it's a really cool, I love it. And there's one of them available It's $20 if you'd like, down from 24. Was it? I don't know. Does it look Mayan or like don't they isn't that like that with the snakes? Was it? I'm trying to remember my all my college university classes and um indigenous cultures or ancient cultures actually, right? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, these are nice. These are always nice. Every once in a while I like to show these. Um Maybe I show them too often, but I do love them. And we're down to only 3 of them. At least 3 of them here. I don't know if we have these in the online store or not. Should. Um, so there's 3 of these available. PRB 21. And that's $28 down to $24. These are I just sorted these out. These are peridot. Peridot heishi beads. Look at the quality. This is why I love these. Look at how transparent or translucent the peridot is. Super nice quality. The beads are not all regular. They are hand cut heishi beads, but you can see through them. Like, look at how stunning these are. And now I know some of y'all out there have these. You know how beautiful they are. You can vouch for them. These are about 5.5 to 6 millimeters. Yeah, 5.5 to 6 millimeter beads. Nice long strands. They are $24 a strand, down from 28, and I've got 3 strands here available. Let me check here, make sure I haven't had any comments here in a while. So either people are quiet or I need to refresh Facebook. Let's see what's happening. Nope, everybody's quiet. Quetzalcoatl is a feathered serpent. That's what I thought, right? Feathered serpent. Didn't they do a lot of serpent motifs? Lenisil says, I've gotten turquoise brooches pendants for my last 2 birthdays, so I'm trying to figure out design ideas. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh, that I was just gonna say. I was talking about we need a make along. We do have a make along coming in 2 days. Friday is our creative make along. So if you don't know what to do with something, bring it to the make along, and I'm sure there will be people there who will have some ideas of what you could do with it. Need some design help? Bring it to the creative make along. Okay, I love these. These were 12. I'm going to bring them down to $8 for the strand. PRB 22. They are these beautiful, I'm going to say lamp work. I don't think they're artisan tech. I mean, all lamp work has to be, but they've like got this double, they look like a check glass ruler bead, but they've got a smaller hole and they've got like an inner and an outer. They've got white on the inside, black around the outside. Beautiful, nice beads, very unique. They're about 11.5 millimeters. Andrew says, I'm trying to pick a knot out. Oh boy, that's no fun. Picking knots, not my idea of a fun Friday night or a fun Wednesday night. And Jennifer says, gorgeous transparency in the peridot. The peridot brings out the green and the pendant next to it, right? It sure does. It really, really does. Look at that. You see all those hints of that same color, limey green kind of. I don't know, is it lime green? Darker than that. There's lots of lime in this one, but that peridot green, Isn't it's funny how by itself it looks almost more yellow brown to me, but you put it with that and it just pulls. Like this looks opalescent almost in the middle when you put it on that side with that. So pretty. It's funny how that happens, right? PRB23. What's next? How about these? I've got 2 strands of these. How much for these? Let's see. What can I do? They were 18. I'll bring it down to 16. I can't go much lower on these because these are really nice. These are vintage Korean lampwork glass. Vintage Korean lampwork glass. And they have that millefiori through them. Beautiful glass, vintage. I love these. And there are 2 strands available. And they're about 10.5 by 17.5 millimeters. $16 a strand. This is the other strand, so you can see. And you can see Korean lampwork glass, vintage. Wasn't vintage when that tag was made, but they're vintage now. They are vintage now. All right, let me put some things away. Got to put some things away. I'm running out of room. We've got a few more to go, but we will make some room here. PRB 15 is going away. And the green quartz is going away. PRB 16. PRB 17. Pink tourmaline. Only 2 strands of that left. If you didn't get yours, please get it. Are the Korean lampwork strands the same base color? One has a lot more yellow. The base blue is the same, but because there's so much yellow in this one, it looks almost green, but they are the same base color. Yes, see? It's just when they're on their side, they look different because there seems to be more yellow on the side of this one than on the side of this one. Isn't that wild? Yeah, they look different, but they are the same base color. You can see it right there. So wild. If you want one or the other strand, you can pick. If you want the one that has more yellow, you can pick that one. Whatever you want. We'll try and make it happen. Let's see here. Okay. There we go. So I don't think I brought my bags up here, but put this one away. That's that one. PRB 18. And then the PRB 18. And I find a bag for you. Oh, I just have an empty bag here. Where is it? PRB 19. Maybe you want both Korean strands. You can have them both if you want. All right. I'm getting silly. I'm getting hungry and I'm getting a little slap happy. These prices are probably going to get even better. PRB 24 coming up. Okay. Let's see. What can I find in my stash? Oh, I do love these. Oh, I do love these. There are 3 of these available. What low price can I do for you on these? We had these at 24. These are vintage again. I'll do them down to 18, which I think is really nice. These beautiful agate, but this is like a triangular shape, and they are so lovely. Like, you don't see this shape anymore very much. I don't know if you do at all. And these are just exceptionally beautiful beads. And they're not all the same size, but I'll pick this one. This is kind of like a kind of good size. It's 11 by about 20 and a half. 11 by 20 and a half. And I want you to see how they glow under the light. Like, look at those. This soft, warm glow of these beads. Like, look at that. Look at that one. They're almost like opalescent. Like, look at that. It's so pretty. Like, this one does. It's like a little opal. I don't know how it's doing that, but it's doing it. It's almost like a moonstone. Like a gray moonstone. Just to show you, these are the other 2 strands. If we sell more than the one, they're all beautiful strands. They're really pretty. Stunning. So vintage quality. People sometimes ask us, like, why do you always sell? Like, why do you like the vintage stuff? Because sometimes the vintage stuff, a lot of times, the stones are nicer in the vintage stuff than you get nowadays, especially for the same price. You're getting some of that old quality stone. Now they sometimes have to, to get that same quality, you have to pay more, or you just don't get it. You just don't get it. They don't have the same material they used to have to work with. That's why we like the older stuff sometimes. Let me see how many of these we've got. Jennifer, it's agate. They're agate stones. How many of these do I have? One, two, three, four, five, six of these available. This is a citrine. In microfaceted goodness. And look at those. Beautiful citrine. Microfaceted rounds, rondelles. They look like rounds to me. I'm going to call those rounds. It's hard when they're that small. When they're 2 millimeters, not even 2.5, 2 millimeter microfaceted rounds in the citrine. Beautiful strands, 6 strands available, all shown here, $15 a strand, down from $18 a strand. PRB26. All right. Now what can I find? What else can I find in my beautiful bag of goodness? How about this one? How about this one? This is a stunning, stunning, stunning strand. This one was $150, and I will bring it down to 110. That's the lowest I can go. This is an aquamarine. This is done on a sterling silver lobster claw and sterling silver extender chain. It is beautiful aquamarine faceted rondelles. Look at the quality of that aquamarine. Very clear. High quality, yet still beautifully blue/green. There's a little bit of that kind of mossy aqua in here, but still beautiful, beautiful beads. I mean, look at that. And I haven't even brought the light up to it yet. Look when you bring the light. Bring in the light. Microfacet. Look at those facets on there. Beautiful aquamarine. And that one is 201 carats. That's what that tag says. 201 carats was $150, $110. I actually have 2 of those. This one, the beads are a little chunkier, but smaller, I believe. This is 8.2. These are 7.5. So these are like kind of wider beads, but thinner. These are a little bit chunkier, but smaller. So if you are interested in any particular one of these, you can request the particular one you're interested in. Andrew said these are gem grade. Yes, they are. Gem grade stones. So 2 of those available. I'm actually going to put 1 in the bag just so that it's not hanging out there, but I'll put a 2 here so you know there are 2 of them available. If anyone is interested in those gemmy grade, beautiful aquamarine, those are a steal. At this price, this is an old price, y'all. 150 is an old price. If you see the quality, you know $150 for that, that would be a steal. We're doing them at $110 a piece. Tonight and tonight only. Tonight only. Get them now. If you're watching this rewatch, we'll give you a day. We'll give you a day. Everybody has until tomorrow, but that price is not a, a, a long-standing price, that 110. That's because I'm a little delirious tonight and you're getting a really good deal. How about that? I like to do that for y'all once in a while. Let me see how many of these I have available. I've got 2 of these available. Get back here. Got 2 of these available. And I'm going to give you a little break on these as well. These were 28, which I think is the low price to start with. I'm going to bring that down even a little bit lower, $22. These are pre-night. All right. These are pre-night cubes. These are 2 strands I've got here. Nice long strands of these gorgeous pre-night cubes. And let's see, by long, I mean, well, if I get the right number here again, there's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 and a half inch strands approximately. 16 and a half inch strands, pre-night cubes. These cubes are approximately 5 millimeter, 4.5 to 5 millimeter, depending, they're not all perfect, 4.5 to 5 millimeter. Beautiful pre-night. That's such a fun shape and really nice grade pre-night. This also is pre-night that does not have much of the black, right? Pre-night without the black. This is just the gemmy part, the green part of the pre-night. We do have some of that around. Getting gemmy up in here, right? These gem quality, these beautiful stones. Andrew says, part of me wants to go through all the strands with silver and cut it off, LOL. Someone posted their scrap in the Potter People group and it was 52 pounds. We figured it out to be about $72,000. That person, that's like 52 pounds of silver. I'm like, now I was getting ready to sell that silver jewelry, the vintage silver, sterling silver jewelry we have. I'm like, now should I not sell it? What should I do with that now? Maybe we should weigh it and see if it's worth more to us being sold or, you know, doing other things with it. Jennifer says, like, how? Right? That's wild. How do you just have $72,000 just sitting around, Okay. I have these. They were $75. I'll bring them down to 48, which I shouldn't even do, but I've got 2 of them. This is, we are just talking about this earlier, Prasiolite or green amethyst. Green amethyst. These are green amethyst faceted rounds. They are graduated. They're also on a sterling silver chain. See that 925 right there, 925. And sterling silver lobster claw. This is beautiful Prasiolite, green amethyst, graduated rounds, which turn into a little bit of graduated. I guess they're still rounds here. I was at the corner of my screen, which makes them look on my camera. See that? This is that wide angle. It makes them look like rondelles over here, but they're rounds. That's some camera tricky voodoo. Green amethyst, Prasiolite. You got all the greens coming out here. They got the peridot, you've got the pre-night, you've got the Prasiolite. And these graduate from about 4.5 millimeters up to the largest, which is about 8.5. $48 for the strand on those. PRB 28. Lennis says, people are breaking my heart, breaking stones out of vintage sterling jewelry to scrap like gorgeous indigenous pieces. Ugh, I know. That's why we haven't done it. Ours are not indigenous pieces, but it is hard. It's hard to see that happen. But when they make silver the price they have, kind of got to expect people to do what they've got to do, or just make money. You know, people are going to try to make money on it. But it is sad. It is very sad. I don't like it, not one bit. Oh, this is nice. Where did this come from? It's a vintage strand of quartz. Let's do this at let's do it at 22. This is really nice. PRB 29. Andrew says, I don't know. It looks like they do a lot of production. Even last year, it would have been worth $20,000. Now it's worth $72,000. That's wild. This is vintage quartz strand, faceted drops. Really nice quality quartz. A lot of clarity in that. It's vintage, so they're all different lengths and sizes. They're not perfect. But this strand, I think it's a 13-inch strand. Yeah, it's a 13-inch vintage strand. Really pretty quartz. If you're a quartz lover, we've got some nice stuff here tonight. It's about 6 millimeters wide. And just to say, this one is about 9 millimeters long, but they are all different. They're all different. They're a little more regular in the width, which is around 6 millimeters, but different in length. All right, we've got one more to go, y'all, and then I'm done for the night. I'm losing my voice. I'm also getting hungry, and I'm a little tired. I'm everything tonight, right? Thank you all for hanging out with us. It is after 11, so those of you who've made it this far, thank you. We appreciate it. Those of you who are watching the replay because you couldn't make it this far last night, thank you so much. We appreciate it. No matter how you find us, no matter how you buy things from us, no matter how you support us, we appreciate it so, so much. I'm gonna do these. $6 on these, 2 of them. I believe this is picture jasper. I want to say picture jasper in these beautiful corner drilled squares, as Andrew would have me call them. Corner drilled squares. I say diamonds. He tells me corner drilled squares is the official name. So we have these. I think it's picture jasper. I want to say $6 a strand. Really, really pretty. They're almost too pretty. Like they almost look fake because they're so pretty. They're real stones, y'all. Real stones. I've got 2 of them available. The other one is on the floor now. This is the other one. Aren't they pretty? Andrew said, lots of Jemmy goodness tonight. There has been. Andrew says, I need someone to go through and test a lot of metal for me. It'd be good to use one of those guns, but they're expensive and slightly radioactive. So there's a little testing kit. Andrew says they are picture jasper. There they are. 2 of them available, $6 a strand. 2 strands available. Look at all this goodness on the table right now. Like that is pretty nice, right? Any one of those would be beautiful to put in your collection, right? I think so. I'd like any one of those. All right, y'all. That's it for me tonight. I got to go do my Duolingo before I am kicked off of the my streak train, and then I'm gonna do up the invoices and all that good stuff, and then get something to eat. Andrew made a delicious meal for us tonight, so I'm gonna go enjoy that. So thank you all so much for hanging out with us. If you've been here multiple times with us today, we appreciate it. And if you've just been here once, we appreciate it. Don't forget, Andrew's little paintings are available on his timeline, and you can grab those there. These are only $25 each for these little cuties. There are 48 of them still available. So if you would like any of them, please grab them. $25 each, super cute. We can add those to your order or ship them out separately if you don't have anything coming your way. And Creative Make Along is this Friday. Join us on Zoom and hang out with us for the Creative Make Along. More details on that are available on our blog and on our Facebook event. We have a lot of Facebook events. So if you want to know something that's happening here at Allegory Gallery, check those out and check out our blog at allegorygallery.com. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have an amazing, amazing evening. And we'll see you back here with something else tomorrow evening around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye, everybody.